Hello again as we check in with the Liberty Lady Flames basketball team. It's a pleasure now to be joined by head coach Carey Green. And the Lady Flames are on quite a roll, having won their last 11 straight ball games and most recently a win over Coastal Carolina in the Vine Center on Monday night. Coach, coming back home after I think it was 4 on the road, all wins obviously. You were, I think, a little bit, I don't want to say nervous about coming home, but there was a little bit of anxiousness there, I guess, about coming back to the Vine Center. Why was that?
Well, first of all, if you're winning on the road, that's positive, and we've become pretty comfortable being on the road and coming back home. It's something we welcome, but there's a lot of unknowns that we're dealing with when we come back home. And above all that, it's the second time around in the conference, and sometimes those games get even tougher.
Yeah, but your ladies were able to respond with a couple of wins at home. One in double overtime against Charleston Southern on Saturday. We'll start there. A couple of big swings in that ball game down the stretch, and one that, again, you guys were able to pull out.
Well, I think, Nick, we started off with a lot of energy early in the game and really took control of the game. But in the second half, Charleston Southern, who puts up a lot of threes, they actually shot 43s, came out and was on a 5-0 run at the very beginning of the second half, and it cut into our lead, gave them confidence, and they actually took the lead during the game. We had to fight back and close the game out, and as the game closed out, they knocked down some key free throws at the end to put us in overtime, and we're fortunate to take the lead in the second half, and really fortunate to come out on that. But at the end of the game, we were the ones of knocking down free throws in overtime and took control of the game. But hard-fought ball game, a team that causes a lot of havoc because they shoot the three so well. And as I had mentioned earlier, about 55% of their shots that night came from behind the arc. And when they didn't hit them, we took the lead. And when they made them, that closed the gap into an overtime game.
Almost kind of beat them at their own game in some respects. I mean, there were a number of three-pointers that your team was able to knock down in that game, especially from Reagan Miller. Monday night, maybe not so much with the shooting percentage, but at least in terms of rebounding, getting to the free throw line, maybe it looked a little bit more like your team.
Well, those two games, the last two, the Coastal and the Charleston Southern game, were contrasting games. And going back to the Charleston Southern game, Reagan Miller, a freshman, had her career high and really shot the ball very well. Her parents were in town, and she was really pumped up, and we're very thankful that she played such a great game. She came out with a lot of energy, and even last night, one of the things that I like in a player, your best players always outwork everybody. And after the game last night, as the crowd dissipated out of the Vine Center, she's back in the gym shooting after the game last night. So we appreciate those type of efforts that every one of our players give, and but your best are going to spend more time. Your Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, they spend more time than anybody else out there and working on the game, and she certainly was working not only against Charleston Southern in a very positive way, but last night after Coastal game. Contrasting games, you have one team that spreads you out and shoots the three, and the other wants to grind it out and be very, very physical. And I think that is more conducive of who we really are. We got caught up in shooting the three a little more than what I wanted to against Charleston Southern, but Reagan was knocking hers down, and we needed those. And she hit a key three in that particular game to tie the game back up, because they actually had taken the lead away from us in the very closing moments there. The Coastal Carolina game was a very physical game. We shot a few threes, but it was more conducive to us to attack the rim. And from a post player's perspective, it was very rough inside. And Devin Brown stepped up last night and played a very good game. She was, I think, 14 for 15 from the foul line. And we actually outscored them by 20 points on the free throw alone. Other than that, they outscored us by 2 baskets, I think, from the field. So we needed that success from the free throw line. We took care of the ball very well. Only turned the ball over a few times, and rebounded very well. So there's a lot of good positive things that comes from a home win and grinding one out and knocking down your free throws at the end to actually secure a win. Because in the second half, Coastal came back and actually took the lead as well. As I mentioned earlier, it's just getting difficult the second time around, and now we're going to have to hit the road for 2 more and closing out our road series this coming weekend.
Last couple of things here, and we'll talk about the road series here this weekend. But you mentioned Devin Brown last night. That was a career best, 14 of 15, and then a season high, 27 points for her. When she and when Reagan are hitting those outside shots and attacking the basket, in addition to your post players, how tough is your team to beat in this conference?
Well, I like how our players can complement each other. Let's just take the starting 5, for example. Tolu has a good outside shooting touch. She's good around 15. She can knock down the 3, has made a couple threes in games, and she's a pretty good free throw shooter and a power player inside. So she's really got a complete game. Now, she can complement the strength and the power of Avery inside, who's an excellent defender, who can block shots, rebound, and along with Tolu. Then you add Donica Dale, who I consider a slasher. Long. She can cause a lot of problems on defense. She can get a lot of rebounds. She can slip in there and get critical offensive boards to win games. And I love, those 3 combining with Reagan Miller running the show and knocking down 3s from the outside and penetrating and dishing off to people, along with here's your leading scorer left. There's Devin Brown, a slasher, someone who can knock down 3s, who is deadly on the free throw line, as well as Reagan Miller, so they can close out. And it's not all about the starting 5, but it's a team game, and we win with teamwork, and we have some key people coming off the bench being involved. Kendra Washington, outside threat. Trika Lunsford, a big, long defensive player, and then you have 2 post players that are really mixing it up inside with Catherine Kearney, a freshman, and 6'4", 5", and really long wingspan, rebounding and being able to score, and a great athlete in Gardner and Jasmine Gardner, and she can bang with any of them. She's maybe our strongest, best athlete on the whole team, and she's had some good moments with a career high against Coastal with 11 points. So it's a team thing that we want to continue to stress, but I love the team and how they can play together, and their chemistry is coming together right now. We just got to be consistent with that.
Last thing here real quick, just looking ahead to the weekend, Winthrop and then Presbyterian. Again, 2 teams that you've seen already here this year, but second time around, what are you expecting from them?
Well, again, I think the second time around is always tougher. And Winthrop is bringing 3 just top gun 1, 2, 3 players from the perimeter, and a leading conference scorer, and they shoot the 3 as well, and they have done an excellent job in doing that and upsetting people, and they're tough at home. And along with that, they've got a good-sized post player inside who's in the top 10 in rebounding and doing controlling the inside very well. So those are going to be challenges. And then in addition to that, you got PC, which is Ronnie Fisher, and his team is so fundamental, and he does a great job coaching. So I don't think we can rest at any time on the road, but these are going to be big challenges, and to finish out the season tough on the road, and we've been doing that pretty good so far. It's going to be a goal and challenges for us.
All right, very good. Well, Coach, thanks a lot for the time. Safe travels to you here coming up this weekend.
Thank you, Nick.
All right, it all starts for the Liberty Lady Flames on Saturday at 1 o'clock, Liberty and the Winthrop Eagles. And for more on that game, follow along right here on LibertyFlames.com. For LibertyFlames.com and for Coach Carey Green, I'm Nick Pierce.